And welcome back to the LTU Blue Devils In-Depth podcast where we cover everything LTU athletics. I'm Robby Elliott, joined alongside Alex Novak. And it's been a crazy month of February. We're in an extra day of February today on February 29th, the leap day. Alex, how are we doing?
Very good, very good. It's been a very busy February. It's been a very good February as well.
Yeah, and we're going to start right off with the team that has been probably the best athletics team all February long. That is the men's basketball team. They have had themselves quite the run. They are currently right now playing, they will be playing tomorrow in the WAC semifinal. Correction, that is the WAC quarterfinals where they will be playing the number 4 seed Indiana Tech at Indiana Tech. But they had a couple ranked wins in this run in February. They beat the number 13 team Lords, which swept the season series against them. And they also, to finish off the season, beat the number 14th ranked Madonna University. Brandon Beavers, another WAC Player of the Week. With this week, he's had a couple other honors. He has been the NAIA Player of the Week this month. Overall, this team has just been rolling, and hopefully that is going to continue here on in the WAC tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. This team's been on an absolute heater. They knocked off number 14. They beat iTech, which is a huge win. Huge win. Hopefully they'll be able to knock them off again for the second time in a month.
Yes, that is the hope. And on the other side, the women's basketball team definitely hasn't had the month of February that the men's team has had, but they did end up making the tournament. They came in at the number 7 seed and played the number 2 seed Siena Heights Saints. Just last night, actually, they lost 45-61. However, though, they did get to finish off their regular season bout in a very big win against Madonna, winning 88-87 in 2 overtimes.
Yeah, absolutely. Going down in 96 is always a business trip for them. Going down to Madonna, big win in double overtime, just like you said. They entered playing Siena Heights. They played them on senior night. They played them again. Unfortunately, they get bounced out of the first round. Hopefully next season they'll be looking for blood and revenge some of their seniors.
Absolutely. And on the spring sports side of things, the baseball team has finally started their season here in the month of February. They have started off 4-1, sweeping the opening series against Brescia and then splitting a Friday doubleheader with Grace College on the 23rd of February. They will be back in action down in the Sunshine State of Florida on their spring break trip on March 2nd, where they will play a doubleheader against Trinity Baptist College in a stretch of games against some very, very good opponents in the southern region. A couple guys are off to some red-hot starts. Logan Walker, Trent Reed, Jason Earhart are all batting above 500 to start the year, and the stud two-way Jake Ianenza is batting 500, tied for a team-high 2 homers and a team-leading 10 RBIs. And on the pitching side, both Kenny Wright and Jeremy Flattery have sub-2 ERAs in 6 innings pitched. Definitely a really, really good start, a dream start, you would say, for the men's baseball team.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking really good for the start of the season. 4-1 record. That's a big start to the season. Hopefully they get to enjoy their spring break trip. 9 games. Not too heavy of a load, but it's what you get when you go down to Florida. Just a little update from the baseball team. Junior Donnie Say, he also had surgery on Wednesday the 20th, so hopefully a speedy recovery, and he gets to come back next season and looks really good.
All right, Alex, and just touch a little bit on the softball team and how they've started off their season.
Yeah, absolutely. This is a little bit close to home. I get the bragging rights between all my friends back home in Georgia that I met through Georgia Gwinnett College. It should have been in the headlines. It's a 5-4 win against GGC in Columbus, Georgia on the 17th. Me and my grandfather are very happy. My brother's girlfriend's going to GGC next year, so I get the bragging rights just a little bit. With the stats-wise, Abby Gardner, my coworker, Chloe Hugg, they're looking phenomenal in the stats box. They've been completely supporting that team along with Lily Morissette. They've started completely on fire in the batter's box and on the base path. And then they'll go down to Florida as well, going down for that spring break trip where they'll play Roosevelt twice, India Wesleyan, among those 14 games in hopefully some beautiful weather.
Yeah, absolutely. And they have started off their month of February, their start of their season, 4-5. All right, Alex, the hockey program, the season's about to come to an end. It's coming to an end. Can you just give us an update on both teams?
Yeah, I'll quote D1 player Keegan Rundle right now. He told me, "We wanted to win, but it's going to give us something to come back for next season, smelling blood." That is a quote where, coming into next season, after losing to Indiana Tech in the final, missing out on nationals, this team's going to be looking for something. They're going to be looking for more. They're going to be looking for a WAC championship. They're probably going to be looking for a nationals championship, hopefully. Just a little recap on that WAC championship. They did get to sweep U of M Dearborn in that last series. They entered as the number 2 seed, beat Rochester in the first round, beat U of M Dearborn again in overtime 1-0 to make it to the championship game. Unfortunately, they met iTech for the 5th and final time this year. Unfortunately, they lost 4-2 in a very physical matchup. But all is not lost. D1 did make some history. They made it to the conference championship game for the first time in program history. Hopefully, going into next season, they lose a few of their seniors. All of these juniors going into next season, they know, hey, we're not going to do this again. We're going to be winning the WAC. We're going to go to nationals. We want to make a run.
Absolutely. And then that D3 team who is in the national tournament, touch a little bit about their finish to the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, next stop, St. Louis for them. They finish up their conference championship. They won. They played in the Vesna Cup against Calvin and Hope College. They beat Calvin 5-2, and unfortunately that next day, this past Saturday, just a heartbreaking loss, 3-0. Could have been 4-0, but thankfully it was not. They Hope got called for too many men on the ice at the 4-second mark, left in the third. Just kind of a sad way to end the season, but they're going into nationals. They're looking good. They're looking happy. And going into that season as the number 1 seed, they're going to be matching up with Arkansas, Colby, and St. Vincent for that Pool A D3.
Men's lacrosse has started off their season playing NCAA Division III Kalamazoo College. They fell a little bit short there, losing 10-13. However, on the other side, the number 1 ranked reigning national champions, the women's lacrosse team, they took on another NCAA Division III team, and they put it to them, winning that game 16-5. They are hot, looking to avenge, defend a national title as they head down to Florida to play Kaiser University on March 4th.
Yeah. Huge congratulations to Coach Cool getting her first official win as a head coach back at Detroit Country Day. Sydney Robinson, just want to mention her. She had 3 goals and 7 assists. And Elena Smythe, she netted 7 goals in that season opener as well.
Yeah, and like you said, this is going to be a fun team to cover, fun team to watch all year round. Men's volleyball, 10-1 on the season, an absolute dream start. And you would argue that this isn't even just a hot start. This is a team that is really good. They're up to 14 in the national ranking. They won all 3 sets. They won 3-2 against Siena Heights just 2 days ago. Goshen College, they won 3-2 as well. On February 24th, this team is absolutely hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Just wanted to touch up about that Aquinas game as well. They had 13 aces alone in that game. That is insane numbers. Just want to shout out some of the guys that have really caught my eye. Mario Sid, JT McCarthy, Gustavo Henrik, Akram Askul, and Brendan Down. They've been an absolute force on both the offensive and defensive side.
Yeah, and they will be back in action on March 21st, which is tomorrow.
Yeah.
Men's bowling, another team that has eclipsed the national rankings here down at Lawrence Tech. We got a lot of those teams here. They are number 4 in the country currently, coming off a first place title in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference Championship. I mean, talk about another team who is looking to hang a red banner in the gym.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, they get to go down to site hasn't been determined yet, but they get to travel from March 8th to the 10th. They'll play in the ITC sectionals qualifiers. Hopefully, they'll keep that fire going and go back to nationals.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to recap a little bit about what they did in the month of February, they came in first in the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Jamboree. They came in second in the Hoosier Classic on February 10th, third in the Hoosier Classic on February 11th, and then they went to Marion University to take on the Hoosier Classic quarterfinals. They won that 2-0. Played Oklahoma Christian in the Hoosier Classic semifinal, won that 2-0. Ottawa University they took on in the Hoosier Classic final and won that 3-1. This team knows nothing more than just to win. And on the women's side of the bowling alley, they placed 4th in the WAC championship out of 11 schools. They had a little bit of a not as successful late February. They came in 21st in the Hoosier Classic on Saturday, and on Sunday they came in 26th. However, they did play in that Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference Jamboree, and they came in 6th out of 12 schools there. Kind of just an up and down year for the women's bowling team. But once again, another successful season for the women's bowling team over here at Lawrence Tech. And another ranked national team here at Lawrence Tech, the women's ice hockey team. They play in the ACHA Division II. They are ranked number 17 in the country. Alex, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. They won 3 of their last 5. Unfortunately, they did miss out on nationals. I just learned this past Tuesday from one of their captains, Athena Chapman. Just a player to mention, Sophia Buckberger. She surpassed 50 points in the final game with a 7-1 win against Robert Morris University. That was a really good game. I will say the team looked very happy. They looked on fire with a 5-0 lead in the first. After losing a senior and another player due to personal reasons, they're able to come back. They were able to keep that fire going, and hopefully going into next season, they'll continue that fire. Hopefully they'll get some more players as well.
Falling just short of nationals, however, they did have a great month of February. They tied 5-5 against Adrian College, however, losing in the shootout 1-0. And then the next day they went on February 4th to beat them 1-0. They tied 1 against Liberty on the 9th of February and then lost 2-0 on the 10th. Went down and played University of Maryland in Laurel, Maryland on February 11th. They won that one 5-3, and then they finished up at the Southfield Ice Arena playing 2 against Robert Morris, where they won both of those games 7-1.
Yeah, a little funny thing. Well, not so funny to us for the people who wanted to watch that first Liberty game. It was 30 seconds left into overtime, and the stream just completely cut out. We were like, "What's going on? How did it finish? We want to know." Nobody found out until the next day, so it's just,
Keeping it in women's sports, the tennis team has gotten their season off and running. A little shaky start here. 1-7 on the season. In the month of February so far, they have played Lake Superior State, Wayne State, Spring Arbor University, Davenport University, Huntington University, and that was where they picked up their first one here in Southfield on the 17th of February, winning that 4-3. And then just last Saturday, they lost 0-7 to Bethel University.
Yeah, but hopefully they get to turn things around. They get to go down to Hilton Head, South Carolina. That's always a beautiful spot during this time. A lot of golf, a lot of tennis, a lot of fun. They get to catch some rays and then head back home after spring break. They'll kick off where they left off March 16th against Aquinas.
Yep, and they will be in action down in Hilton Head Island on March 3rd, playing against Millersville University. Men's tennis, on the other hand, has had a little bit of more success here in the early stages of their season. They have played Wayne State, Lake Superior State, Spring Arbor University, Davenport University, Huntington University, and Bethel. And in those games, they lost 0-7 to Wayne State University, 1-6 to Lake Superior State, 7-0 to Spring Arbor University. They lost 3-4 to Davenport, won as well against Huntington University, and lost 2-5 to Bethel. That brings their record to 3-4 on the season. And they will also be joining the women's tennis team down in Hilton Head Island for the Spring Tennis Fest, where they will also play Millersville University on Sunday, March 3rd. And a little esports update, kind of previewing what you have coming up. The Smash Brothers Ultimate Team plays tonight versus Baldwin Wallace University. The Overwatch team is playing Tufts tonight. The League of Legends team will play Indiana Tech on the 5th, and Rocket League will play Newman on the 4th. And shout out to that Rocket League. And shout out to that Rainbow Six Siege team. They are 3-0 so far in the spring. And also a big shout out to that Super Smash Brothers team. They are 3-1 in the spring. And that's going to wrap up the LTU Blue Devils In-Depth podcast, where we cover everything here athletic-wise at Lawrence Tech University. I'm Robby Elliott, and he's Alex Novak. Until next time.